I can't let nothing get in my way. I know you hear me when I pray. I know that I'm not perfect, yeah, I make mistakes. I need you to be there for me every step of the way, yeah, cause there's a blessing with my name on it. Hey, you know that I need it, Lord. Show me how to get it, Lord. I'm barely eating, Lord. Trying to feed my people, Lord, yeah, cause there's a blessing with my name on it. Ooh, hey, you know I receive it, yeah, I believe it, yeah, yeah. This year will be my year. I claim it. Hey, yeah, I claim it. Oh, yeah, yeah. This year will be my year. I claim it, yeah. I claim it. This year will be my year, yeah. I've been putting work in, yeah. Tryna make my dreams come true. I know I get impatient. My family and my babies, they waiting on me to come through. Pressure on every level. Issues, I got several. Trying not to settle. I wanna be successful. I can't be a failure, but it get kinda hard trying to keep it all together. There's a blessing with my name on it. You know that I need it, Lord. Show me how to get it, Lord. I'm barely eating, Lord. Trying to be my people, Lord. There's a blessing with my name on it. Hey, you know I receive it, yeah. I believe it, yeah, yeah. This year will be my year.
Good morning, good morning. It
Good
is
morning.
Thursday. Happy Friday Eve. We're almost wrapping up this week, but we still have some great things going on. If you have not shared, this is a perfect time to share. Call some people out, put their name in the comment. You know, like people like when you make notice of them. They like when you highlight them. So go ahead and shout them out and put their name in the comments. Because today we are talking about effective. That's a good word by itself. Effective. Are you effective? That we talked about things going through a process, but when you add effective, that means that you're doing something to make sure that it works. And let's add that second word. That second word is communication. Do you
Come
have
on, man.
effective communication? Do you mean what you say and you say what you mean? In a good way or bad way? You know, we have both. So today we sipping on effective. We decide to be effective. We want stuff to be effective and work, not just come just because. It's effective communication. So go ahead, get it in your mind, effective. How are you going to be effective today? How are you going to communicate effective? So that is now, because we're going to keep going. So we're going to give you time to go ahead and get some people in the room as we bring the one and only Terry White Hicks with the dose of hope.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday, happy Thankful Thursday. Y'all already know that today is the day that the Lord has made, and we are rejoicing and we are glad in it. It's your girl, Terry White Hicks, and it is now time for our daily dose of hope. And the dose of hope comes from Isaiah chapter 60, verse 1, and it says this: Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord rises upon you. I got to say that again. Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord rises upon you. My encouragement for you today is simply this: you have to come out of the darkness. It is time to come out of the darkness. Stop hiding, stop shrinking back, stop making yourself less because the other people around you can't handle your shine, baby. Shine anyway, and they're just going to need to adjust with some sunglasses, okay? Because this is your time to shine. The Lord is calling you out to arise and to shine because the glory of the Lord is upon you. Don't miss your season because somebody else can't handle your shine. Don't miss out on what God has for you because somebody else is intimidated by you. Don't miss out on what God has designed and intended for you, the favor, the blessings, the promotion, the creativity, the assignments that God has for you because somebody else can't handle your shine. Baby, come on out of the darkness, out of hiding, step into his marvelous light, okay? Because it's marvelous light. Arise and shine, for the glory of the Lord is upon you. This has been your morning dose of hope. And now I want you to get ready for my girl Sparkle, who's bringing Morning Mirror Talk.
Good morning, self-effective. Today, self is about effective. I am going to be effective in every area of my life. That means I have to control those face emotions, those faces that we show that I'm tired of you, get out of my way. We have to control those looks because those looks determine how we're speaking. That look tell you what you mean and mean what it says. So I am being effective even in my facial expressions, even in my tone. I'm controlling my tongue so that I can be effective and get a great outcome. How do you get the great outcome? You put in the right ingredients. That means you control yourself. You control your emotions. You control your anger. You control your audacity. You control how you put out what you put out. We are putting out effective. I'm going to be effective, and I want you to keep saying that. Farika, I'm effective on today. Facebook user, I'm effective today. I am effective because I have control of what I put out. This has been your Mirror Talk with Sparkle. Okay, we back. Effective communication. You know, I have to bring my friend Google in first. I like my friend Google because my Google breaks it down for me. So I'm going to give the definition of effective communication. The process of exchanging ideas, thoughts, opinion, knowledge, and dates so that the message is received. Remember that word, so that the message is received. I'm receiving the message and I have an understanding with clarity and purpose. With clarity and purpose. So if we purpose driven, then we have to have effective communication. So me and Google had fun this morning. Top 10 effective communication. Active listener. That means as the person is talking, you're not figuring out what am I going to say next. How am I going to body slam you before you get it all out? Using the right communication method. Knowing that person, knowing how you must communicate with them so that they can get the understanding, the clarity, and the purpose. Friendliness. Be friendly. Say it with some kind words. Don't mean mug them as you are speaking. Confidence. Mean what you say, but you're saying it friendly. Sharing your feedback, volume, and tone. That means, Sparky, you can't be screaming at them. You got to have a volume and a tone. Empathy. Do you have empathy for the person as you are communicating? And lastly, respect. You are doing it respectfully, classy, and great. Effective communication can take us so many ways. We can use effective communication in all our ships. That means kinships, friendships, relationship, workship, parentship, all the ships. include effective communication so that you can get out what we need to get done. When you are at that workplace, instead of giving them an attitude, let's go ahead and effective listen, even when you don't like that new policy. Go ahead and take it in because that policy has already been written and we got to follow it. That means we have to do what it says we must do. So, Monica, what are you thinking about effective communication?
Well, when I think about effective communication, I also have to look to see how well I am being effective when I am communicating, right? I know that sounds, didn't you just say that? A lot of times we want people to communicate with us, but we're not communicating with them. Everybody has different communication skills. I've learned
Yes.
over the years in a few relationships that I'm a talker, right? I can spew it out, I can give it to you, I can give you verbatim point by point, but other people may not communicate in that way. A lot of times in relationships, the biggest thing that we want to say is, you need to communicate. That's what makes that makes the actual relationship work. You are correct. But if your partner is not a talker, maybe he needs to communicate in another way. Hey, if you have something that you need to tell me that I am going to receive it, right? That's a part of being effective. I have to be able to receive it. He can say it in the greatest tone. He can say it as sweet as he needed to say it. He can, be respectful. But if I'm not in a place of being able to receive it, then the communication still is not effective. So if perhaps he needs to send a text message, then send a text message. A text message will give him the opportunity to say everything he needs to say without me interrupting. And I'm using myself, but just think about times that you have been in the heat of something and you didn't want to take a step back. You didn't want to take a step back to listen
Yes.
because you was trying to get your point across. Hold on,
Yes.
listen to what I'm saying. This is the way it was. You look like this. And then another thing for me that I know I need to work on is my facial expression. My facial expressions never use their inside voice. Never.
Never.
They never use their inside voice. They're always outside voices, right? And so that's why a lot of my friends, the people that deal with me, said, "No, I want to see your face. When I tell you, I need to see your face." Because on the other side of the phone, I may say, "Oh, yeah, sounds good. Okay, understand." But my face is toe up, baby. My face is toe up. But what I will also say is my face, I've learned, is processing the message. Does that
Mhm.
make sense?
It
My
makes
face,
perfect sense.
my body language is processing the message. I'm not a perfect vessel. So therefore, when something irritates me, I'm going to move a certain way. I'm going to look a certain way. But that doesn't mean I'm not just processing it so that I'm able to then push through and be able to tell you exactly what it is of how I feel so it can be effective.
Yeah. And that's the definition. It says the process. So when you receive it, the process of exchanging one of the big things that it was saying in effective communication, you have to make sure it's the right environment. You have to make sure that it's the right timing because sometimes you have to process it and we have to give people time to process it. Like you were saying, just because the person you're ready to talk about it right now, the person might say, "Give me to Friday. I need to process this. I need to process it so that we can both be effective and we can come out victorious." We can't come out victorious if you tell him, "No, my boss, no, I don't want to talk about this now. Now, why did you write me up? Why did you do it?" No, when you get discipline from work, you need to process that first. Or if somebody's giving you some feedback, process it before you respond so that it can be effective and it keeps you out of trouble. If you open your mouth before out of turn, you might get fired today because that person might your manager might just pulling you a back and saying, I see that you have been doing something in a different manner. This is how it's done. And then you come back with, well, this is what such and such do, and such do it that way. You can't compare when when you're having effective communication. Don't do any comparison. It has to be solo, that person, and you and them, that person is talking so that y'all can have a perfect outcome. So, Angela, I know you are all, I feel you. I see that.
Baby, let me tell you two things. That one I learned from G. When somebody is coming to you about whatever it is they want to talk about, you got to be careful not to bring up all your stuff. G says they have the stage now, so don't go back and start telling them, well, in 1997, you were doing this, that, and the third. And let me bring it on up to 2021. You were saying that then. That's not your time to get on your soapbox when they're trying to tell you about where they are in their life. You can't go back and be pulling rabbits out the hats and doing all these magic tricks, baby, because you had time to do that. You chose to shut your mouth. So this is not the time for you to be on the platform trying to say what you want to say. Now, the other thing is when you're talking about effective communication, what you say, G, that's G's pet peeve, baby.
Yes, it is. Yes. This has nothing, she'll tell you, this has nothing to do with you.
Right. It's my time to talk. It's my time. It ain't your time.
Book your appointment. I scheduled Wednesday, October 19th at 8:30. If you wanted to have an appointment to talk to me about all my flaws and all, you could have did that on the 10th, but you didn't. So now that we have an appointment scheduled about all the stuff that I need to talk to you about you, now you want to give me a laundry list. This is not your time to shine. This is not it.
I don't even want to hear it at that point. The second thing is when you're talking about effective communication, I think that a lot of times we need to sometimes make the pause. You know what I'm saying? You need to think about it. If I'm not going to come to you in the right way, if I'm going to come to you with a whole bunch of my neck is moving and I'm looking at you cockeyed and crazy, if I'm going to come to you like that and I know I'm in my feelings, then I need to put a pause on it and say, before I run up on them and punch them in their throat, let me just be still and let me wait till tomorrow, or let me give me myself a couple of days so that when I speak to you, I can speak to you in an appropriate manner.
Get that neck under control. Get the neck under control. But my neck just moved like this ordinarily, though. I move like this when I say good morning.
My hands are gonna move automatically. But Farika said it takes patience too. Sometimes because we think we have the answer, we over talk or over communicate when they're trying to talk. You can be an over communicator. That's why text messages keep you from being that. If that person communicates through text message, it keep you from being that over talker. They get to get it all out because they know that you won't get to interrupt them. They get to say exactly what they need to say without any interruptions.
They do.
Sometimes less is more. Terry, come on, break it down to them. Give it to them in the educational way.
You know, it's so funny you say that, Sparkle, because y'all know I'm back in grad school getting another master's degree, right? And this is so funny because this is what I'm studying now because my degree is in executive leadership, but with the concentration in communication. So literally, this is my world right now. Communication is what I'm talking about, studying, researching all day long. And one of the things I find interesting is that, you know, in the Eastern culture, the way they communicate is the effective communication for Eastern culture looks like when I say what I need to say to you, it's my responsibility to make sure you understand what I'm saying versus Western culture over here. We're like, well, I told you such and such. I said such and such. And we expect the person to understand. We leave the responsibility to them to understand what we're saying. And so, but communication gets lost because I'm saying it one way and you heard it another. But to me, well, I said it the way I said it. You took it the wrong way. When really they didn't. They took it the way they took it. There's no right or wrong to that. That's the way they processed it. That's the way they heard it. That means there was a breakdown on your end of the communication. But over here in Western culture, we're very independent and individualized. So for us, it's all about
attitude.
It's I said this, I said that. You supposed to get it. If you missed it, that's on you. So I think part of good effective communication, or that's kind of the same thing, right? But effective communication is really being able to say, let me make sure I'm saying this in the way that I need you to receive it. When I say it, I don't mean it rude, so let me not say it with a rude tone. Or when I say it, I need to make sure you have a full understanding. So let me give all the information and be clear up front. Like, we have to make sure we're doing our complete responsibility, when we're giving the information versus saying, well, I've done my part. Now it's up to you to receive it the right way. The second thing I want to say is back to what Angela was saying. In addition to interrupting by bringing up all the stuff the person did before, the other thing we got to stop doing is interrupting to try to insert our life story while somebody else is saying whatever they're saying.
Yes.
If I'm coming to you because you asked me how I'm doing and I'm trying to tell you about my day, well, today I had to go. It's like, wait a minute. You asked me how my day was going. Like, can the light shine on me for a second? But it's like, and I know sometimes people do it as a way to try to connect with you because they want to connect and be a part of the conversation. But really, that's really not good communication. That's really bad communication skills, because you're interrupting the person and then you're redirecting the attention back on you. Let them talk about what their mama did or what their husband did or whatever. Let them get it out. Well, girl, my husband did the same thing. Let them get it out first, and then you can,
flag on the play.
Yes.
So would it be effective to say, girl, I did not ask you nothing about your husband. This is about me and my husband.
I do. That's let me redirect this conversation, because I'm gonna get out what I need to say. So in a second, let me say this first. Y'all know that. Let me say this first. Let me say this. You gotta redirect it back, because otherwise you never get out what you say, because they've interrupted you, and now the whole thing is about them, and you never even got to say. So the communication ball was dropped. So no.
That is good, Terry. Like, this is really good, because we are trying to be effective. We try to be purpose driven, and how better than having a direct communication. So, Regina,
right. You know what? I like
come with them gangster now. You gotta
let me tell you something. I like effective communication.
But she don't lean to the end of her seat, so we already
right. I'm gonna tell you what effective communication, how I perceive it, is because the person on the other hand, or yourself, the level of comprehension. What are you comprehending? How do you comprehend? How do you register it in your mind of comprehension? And when you get to the point to where you can really comprehend, comprehension can come in a lot of ways. Either I'm going to comprehend what you're trying to say, but do you even comprehend what you're trying to tell me?
Yeah.
See, I'm looking at it deep.
Mic drop.
My comprehension may go way further than what you're trying to tell me. So I'm not just going to go by what you have. Okay, because do you really believe what you're saying? And if you really don't believe what you're saying and stand on what you're trying to tell me, I'm looking at it like your comprehension of what you wanted me to comprehend may be a little off. So I look at effective communication a little bit differently. Well, I can give you an example of an effective communication. If I have to tell you something over and over again, that means that either you're not wanting to comprehend or you cannot comprehend, but you want me to follow suit. You want me to follow suit with your comprehension. So now, since you can comprehend what I was saying verbally, I'm going to sit here, and the next time you want to talk about it, my effective communication is, there's nothing to talk about.
Regina done called the people slow and then shut them down.
Yeah,
It's
I
not
mean,
SLOW at that.
I love that
called
because
people slow and then said, I'm done.
I'm
we all know that silence is a communication.
it is.
It
All
is.
by itself.
Really.
silent talks louder and speaks volume.
Yes. Or that
Right.
finger, you know, that finger means a lot. When I say that finger,
It depends on which one you're using. It's 5 of them.
That part.
Depending on which finger you're using. I'm
Like
gonna give
they
you
say,
sign
sweetheart,
sign language.
yes.
hey,
What
try
about
G-
those
try
wrinkles
Jesus.
in
Don't
your
try me.
forehead? What do
Uh-uh.
they mean?
Hey, read
You know,
between the lines. That's what that means. Read between the lines. This is some. You trying to tell me some BS up in here? Read between the lines, baby.
But y'all know what? I think that's part of good communication too. That, you know, when someone says something like Regina's talking about, making sure they comprehend, making sure you comprehend too, making sure there's comprehension happening during the conversation. So when somebody says something, and y'all, I'm good for saying this, say it to me in a different way, because I need to make sure I understand what you're saying before I respond. Because depending on what you're saying, I might have a response. So I need to make sure. Say it to me in a different way, because I need to, you know what I mean? So sometimes we have to check for
clarity.
understanding as we're communicating, or something like, so what I hear you saying is, so are you saying blah, blah, blah? Okay, do you
Yes.
mean blah, blah, blah? You know, because a lot of times we hear stuff and the way we hear it may not be the way they meant it. So instead of just coming back with a fast response, let me ask first. Let me make sure this is what you're saying. Let me make sure you calling me XYZ. Let me make sure you know before we snap back. Let me just clarify first. Then so we have to also check for communication constantly. Check for comprehension constantly throughout the communication.
But then, you know, you got your people who just know you. So Monica and I was looking at a meme the other day, you know, and the lady was like, girl. And the girl was like, girl.
Yes.
Girl.
Girl.
That's all you gotta say is that one word, and they know every single version of the girl that you're using.
Right.
Absolutely.
What about parenting? You remember when you was raising your kids and you did that little sit up a little bit, or your grandmama? I remember my grandma would be way in the other side when she did that look.
Yeah.
Back. That means
You better get it.
Okay.
Bring
That
it
was
in.
our effective communication. Bring it in. So we all have to be effective in communicating with all our ships.
Absolutely.
Also, one of the main one is being effective in your prayer. Are you communicating actively? Are you saying exactly what he wants, what you need? Are you telling him half of the story? You only telling him the one side. You know, we get one-sided when we're ready to tell our story. So when you're going to God, are you being effective? Are you effectively communicating with him? Are you giving him all around the world? Well, today I want a Corvette. No. God, I want a BMW. No, I want a house. Oh, no, God, I don't. You gotta be effective. That's why he tells us, write some stuff down. Write the vision down. Like, come on, write it down sometime. So journal to me. Write it in a journal so that you can keep it consistent and you can keep confident in what you're asking God for and effectively communicate with him. Pray effectively. Yes, Miss Cynthia. So I couldn't let us drop off with saying the most important thing with when you pray, be effective. What's that Bible scripture where he said, don't come in here rumbling and doing all that rumbling?
Oh, I don't have that scripture, but the Bible does say that the effective, fervent prayer of the righteous availeth much. And we forget the part, because people like the prayers of the righteous availeth much. No. It ain't every prayer, baby. It says the effective, fervent prayers. So that means you have to be able to effectively communicate, and then you have to do it over and over again in order for it to be successful.
Stay consistent. So, of course, we're out of time. The clock has already hit us. The alarm has said it's time to go. So, we hope and pray that you have enjoyed effective communication and you have taken some great nuggets so that you can be effective and be able to get the results that you need. This is the 5-5 morning show, and we're super excited that you decide to join us. But we have to go right now. So stay tuned. Reverend Pat got you. She's going to give you a little bit more. So stay tuned. And we love you. And we're going to say a quick prayer. God, we thank you that we're going to be effectively about our prayers so that we can get the results that we need. Have a blessed one.
I claim it. This year will be my year. This year will be my year. I claim it. I really believe it in my heart. This year will be my year. I claim it. Yeah. I claim it, 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 yeah, yeah. I claim it, 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 yeah, yeah. I claim it, I claim it.